This was a week where I had to dip back into my Pedro Martinez inner child, my brother.
Or we could say you went into the Avatar state, or we could say you went Super Saiyan, but enough Nickelodeon references, this guy went 4-0. If you watched, you got paid.
That's right, it's the Sure Shot coming your way with that holiday stimulus package now. No turkey over here, boys and girls, but I hope your Thanksgiving was as good as mine. Mark Gray in the house. That's Chad Morton.
You know it.
I was sure on all my shots last week.
Yes, you were. And most surprising.
100 proof, too.
I couldn't believe it. The Washington football team wins and covers. This guy. Next thing you know, the Hogs are going to come back. Are the Hogs coming back?
Absolutely. They baby hogs right now. They're kind of like piglets right now because I think when you
Rookie hogs.
I'm glad to see my brother here is reading my newspaper stories around the way because what's going on in Washington right now with old school burgundy and gold apologists like myself, you're seeing Taylor Heineke channel his inner Joe Theismann, the undersized quarterback with a popcorn arm who has galvanized the locker room and the huddle in ways that RG3 nor Kirk Cousins ever could. And if those guys had that leadership intangible, Washington would be a Super Bowl contender right now. That's what it is. It's amazing. You talk about the Hogs. They win a game against Seattle, and this ain't beast mode Seattle, but they're down to their fourth string center. Keith Ishmael comes off, and he looks like an all-pro. It's amazing to see what's going on here. This is not supposed to be happening in Washington.
I was worried about you because both Washington won and the Ravens won, and I said, who's he going to pick as his favorite team now? It's hard on you. What you going to do?
I've always been a burgundy and gold apologist.
Okay.
And I'm a Ravens supporter.
Okay.
Now, as long as they ain't meeting in the Super Bowl, I'm good.
Okay, if they did meet in the Super Bowl, what you going to do?
Arsenic.
Oh.
Just take me out.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Although that may not be possible this year, we've got some Super Bowl contending matchups coming up this week. It's going to be amazing. But a quick recap over last week. Did you take any of the Thanksgiving games? Remind me.
Absolutely not.
I did. I took the Lions. The Lions covered for me, even though they didn't win. But I should have listened to Corey. We're going to talk to him later on. How about those Cowboys? They're goddamn good.
No.
I'm done with them in terms of taking them against the spread.
They're a little confused. They got some challenges with their offensive play calling. And I got to be honest with you. People are talking about Dak not getting it done, but he didn't have CeeDee Lamb. He didn't have Amari Cooper. COVID is wreaking havoc. I'm interested to see this Thursday, depending on when you check out the show, how they handle COVID. Right. Because COVID has suddenly become a factor around the league.
Absolutely. Pittsburgh, T.J. Watt, out this week. Remember that if you're placing your bets.
Mike McCarthy out coaching, for Dallas.
Some people says that will help him,
well,
not me.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. It throws the dynamic off. And when you got a team, I'm not ready to buy into Dallas. I've seen the fourth quarter fold, not only in games, but down the stretch after Thanksgiving, that traditionally is a totally different team. I think if you get into the division right now, the team with the highest upside is Washington, believe it or not.
Washington, and I would say the Eagles, two teams in the same division. Eagles stubbed their toe last week after a 4-game win streak, but I'm keeping my eye on those Eagles, keeping my eye on Washington. This could end up being a 3-team race in the NFC East.
It's only 2 games separating top from the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to play each other.
Right. That's going to be a really interesting race. Mm-hmm. But Philly, when are they going to get the black quarterbacks and receivers? I mean, Donovan McNabb had to go to the Super Bowl after they finally woke up and got T.O. But for years, he was stuck with Freddie Mitchell, James Trash, Todd Stinkston. You remember those days.
I do.
And here, last play of the game in Philly last week, Hurts puts the ball right in the receiver's hands at the goal line. He drops it. Everybody's saying he can't throw the football. Philly, do yourself a favor. Put down the cheesesteak, pick up receivers.
Well, I'm going to say this. We just talked about it earlier when we were off camera. The Ravens have similar issues, but they find ways to win. Philly is not quite there yet where they can play poorly and still win a football game. I like what the Ravens are doing. I think Philly is on the come up.
What's the difference between Sirianni in his first year and a Super Bowl winning coach like Harbaugh?
And, hey, one more thing before we get to our expert. I must give this guy props again. Not only was he 4-0, but he's been telling you guys through all of this hate that Kirk Cousins is not that guy. And you see what happened again out there in San Francisco. I give that like a half. So you were 4.5-0.
He's just not a leader, man. He can't get it done in the clutch. He's a great fantasy quarterback. I wish I could trade Ryan Tannehill right now for Kirk Cousins on my fantasy team. But again, Kirk Cousins won't win a Super Bowl. He won't even get there. And I doubt very seriously
that they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just not feeling. But then again, we all know Mike Zimmer always winning. Always. Max and model.
Who we got coming up?
All right, stick and stay round the way. It's Corey Parson, our Sultan of the Sports book, dropping knowledge on us. Must plays, stay aways as we head towards the holidays here on the Sure Shot. Our Sultan of the Sportsbook joins us right now, Corey Parson from NBC Sports Edge. CP, I'm feeling good this week. Got my cheat sheet on last Friday and went 4-0. Hope you looking as good as I did, bruh.
That's what's up. I had a big week as well. Definitely had some big wins come my way, courtesy of the San Francisco 49ers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Philadelphia Eagles also doing very good for me this week. And this time of the year where the unders are starting to cash as well, too. So definitely had a very strong week this week. Hopefully we can continue to keep that going through the end of the season.
Corey, you warned me about those Cowboys, but I got too high on the horse. You've been through this journey many, many years, but this is my first one. What is going on in Dallas? And don't blame the COVID, because that came to Mike McCartney late.
No, I think you're not seeing the best play from Dak Prescott right now. I think those AFC West defenses have figured out a way to kind of neutralize the Cowboys, not to mention the fact the past 2 weeks we've seen what they look without their full attack. No CeeDee Lamb, no Amari Cooper. Those guys really play a big role in the passing game, not to mention the fact Ezekiel Elliott's a little bit banged up. The month of December gets easier. The Giants, the football team, another game with the Eagles. So I think the Cowboys have a strong finish. Interesting to see where they'll be seated at come playoff time. But this is still probably a 10-11 win team.
Oh, man, silly rabbit. Don't you know by now tricks are for kids? Haven't you seen this act before? I'm disrespectful. They're not a finishing team, just like they haven't been finishing in the fourth quarter recently. Traditionally, the Cowboys don't finish in the fourth quarter of the season. Come on, CP. The injuries to the wide receivers and the back end right now.
Tony Romo era. I believe Dak Prescott one of the best active records in the month of December. So we'll see. Listen, it's not a Super Bowl. They can't compete with the Packers. They probably can't compete with the Buccaneers. They are better than the Rams, though. And that's a team a lot of people had in the Super Bowl.
But wait a minute.
Well, let me pump the brakes on this Cowboy coronation in the NFC
That's
East,
just what I was getting ready to say.
Because I think the best team playing right now, quite frankly, is the Washington football team.
Unbelievable.
You coming off of 3 consecutive wins over Super Bowl champion quarterbacks. You've got an offensive line that's down to its 4th string center, and they were mauling Seattle. They've won the physical battle in the fourth quarter. I'm telling you, this week, if they get past the Raiders, and I just there's no way Dallas can lose to New Orleans. There's absolutely no way.
Oh, there's a way.
No, there's not.
There's a way if I put my money on.
No, it's not.
Go ahead.
Oh, you must be paying.
If I put my money on Dallas, they will lose. That's why I leave them alone. But go ahead.
But CP, the division is certainly taking a turn for the at least interesting when you start talking about the NFC least.
3 teams competing.
No, I think this is a runaway for Dallas. I mean, Washington beat Seattle this past week. Out of 16 teams in the NFC, Seattle is 15. Mm-hmm. So, that Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson thing has come to an end. Wilson not really healthy this season. So, listen, obviously wins are wins, but, and obviously you're beating the Buccaneers, but, I don't look at them as a team that's going to be able to catch Dallas. I think Dallas will make easy work of Washington. Washington is very good in the trenches, but that quarterback position is going to be an issue for them.
But wait.
He's a leader.
Speaking of coming to an end, you talked about Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. What about in Pittsburgh, where we've got back-to-back crushing losses? And I don't care what happens in the rest of the cities in the league. You lose 2 in a row like that in Pittsburgh, and there is a problem. Is my man Mike Tomlin on the hot seat? And how do you bet Pittsburgh going through the rest of the season?
I think Pittsburgh's an auto fade through the rest of the season. I know you do not can Mike Tomlin. That's not the issue. The issue is the dude behind the center. And the dude behind the center has been kind of held the organization hostage for the past couple of years. Yep. It's time to let him go. So when you're Mike Tomlin, you're playing right now with one hand tied behind your back because Ben Roethlisberger is washed up. He had a good start to the season, but by December, we all knew that he would be toast. He cannot play anymore. Ben Roethlisberger is really somebody that's out there who is not a professional football player, in my opinion. He is just holding on to that spot. They need to draft a quarterback, prepare a new quarterback, because Ben Roethlisberger cannot do this to the Pittsburgh Steelers any longer. He's washed up.
Where do you fall on that? Fly the flag up the pole and give, Dwayne Haskins a chance.
I would.
I mean, well, when Roethlisberger was hurt or when Roethlisberger had COVID, they didn't give Haskins a shot. So they see him in practice. They see him every day. Mm-hmm. I think that they would know more about the situation than we would. Maybe he comes into the offseason. Maybe he comes into next year with a chance to compete for the job. But my guess is he'll probably be a backup.
My thing is, you got him. I mean, Mason Rudolph ahead of Dwayne Haskins. I mean, that's just pathetic. But I'm sensing right now, as it relates to that division, if you could pick a quarterback right now, would you take, Roethlisberger's done. Baker Mayfield, inconsistent and ailing shoulders. So it comes down to Lamar Jackson, leader in the clubhouse. What about Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow is playing good football, and he's doing a good job with the Bengals. I think the Bengals can compete for a playoff spot. It's going to be interesting to see down the stretch. They do have some key critical wins over the Raiders and teams like that. All been playing well in the division. Obviously, they take any chance they get to beat up on Pittsburgh. They do repay them. But Joe Burrow is not an MVP caliber quarterback like Lamar Jackson is, at least not yet. Burrow does have that kind of arm strength, does have that kind of talent on the outside. But I want to see him do the things Lamar has done first. Lamar has taken a team into the playoffs. Burrow hasn't done that yet.
I didn't see a MVP caliber quarterback throwing 4 interceptions last Sunday, though. I mean, that was an off night for Lamar, and I just don't know if Baltimore's recipe can continue to go the way that it is.
Still got the W, though.
And
that's
did.
The sign of a good team.
But
play
sooner
poorly,
or later, doesn't that come up and get you? Won't that bite you?
They have to put him on the center. They have to put him under center. I think if they put him under center, they open up a whole new offense.
Point well taken. All right, when you look at games this week, who's a stay away from?
When you talk about trying to figure out who to stay away from, that can be difficult. Just looking at this week coming up, I think you have a situation where Arizona and Chicago, I think the Bears are becoming a team that you have to kind of start to fade now. Don't know really what the situation is going to be at the quarterback position. I think Arizona is getting healthier. So I look at the Cardinals as a team that I like moving forward, and the Bears are somebody that I'm fading going forward. For one instance. Also this week, I like the Miami Dolphins to keep their winning streak going. They got the Giants coming into town. The Giants have played better on the road than they have at home throughout the course of the Daniel Jones era. But I look at a Dolphin team that's well coached by Brian Flores. Then they're starting to pull it together. So I like the Dolphins to cover the number against the Giants this week. Right now, they are a 3-point home favorite. I already bet them at -3. I don't think it's going to go to 2.5. If it goes to 3.5, the Giants get the hook. You can see some money come in on the Giants. but I can see a sharp line freeze to the Dolphins -3. I'll take the push, but I think the Dolphins win by more than the field goal.
Buffalo, New England, quickly.
It's going to be a tough one. We're going to get to really see what New England is made of right now. Obviously, Mac Jones and the crew, they're rolling, they're playing good football. I think they're during their winning streak, I think they're outscoring teams like 230 something to like 60. So they are playing very good football. But here's the thing: they're going up against a team that has been there. The Bills have been in the AFC Championship game with this bunch. The Patriots have not played in this type of game yet with the bunch that they have. So I got to say that Buffalo wins the game and slows down the New England hype, but I still believe the Patriots will be in the AFC Championship game this year.
Wow. That's our Sultan of the Sportsbook, Corey Parson. You can catch him out on NBC Sports Edge and Friday. That cheat sheet, bro. Hey, thanks for the grades. I'll meet you at the, Arnold's Drive-In. We'll have some French fries and a milkshake and, wink at the girls on skates.
No doubt about it. Good times are coming up. Looking forward to the football playoffs as well and the bowl season coming too.
Appreciate you, bro. That's Corey Parson. Check him out. NBC Sports Edge. Take care, bro. It's week 13 and time for the sure shots. You taking a shorty.
You got to let me kick off. Okay, because I got to come back for the people that depend on me for Christmas.
Yes, you do.
Okay, pick one. Indianapolis Colts -7 at Houston. As the old saying goes, sometimes the simple ones are the best. In this instance, we have the red-hot Colts traveling to Houston to take on the ice-cold Texans. I know it's a divisional matchup, and 7 points could be a lot, but just because they're in a division doesn't mean the game will be close. See Pittsburgh v. Cincinnati in Week 12. Take the Colts and lay the 7 while you can.
That's aggressive. I like that. Taking your chance out there.
Hey, man, take a shot, baby.
And that's a shot. I just hope you come back with all your toes after that one, my friend. I agree. Indy probably wins covering 7. Houston's defense playing a little bit better right now. They still got a quandary, shall we say, at the quarterback position. But all in all, I'm feeling you on that pick. I just couldn't go as high as 7.
I can do it, man.
Anybody with Carson Wentz, you're willing to risk?
Yeah, Corey almost came back and beat Tampa Bay
all
last
right.
week.
Number 1, I got the Miami Dolphins, 2.5-point favorite over the New York Giants, and I got the Dolphins to cover that.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. First off, Saquon Barkley is not at 100%.
Okay.
Second of all, Danny Dimes is pitching pennies when he's in the passing game and doesn't have a healthy Barkley as a safety valve. And I get the sense right now that the Finns are rallying around Tua. Their defense is getting healthy and making big plays. The only reason I didn't go higher or wait for in the week
line to move.
Yeah, the line to move is because I think it's going to be cold in New York. And I'm looking at several teams that I'm staying away from this week who are going to be warm weather teams going
to cold.
And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I got Miami laying a 2.5 early in the week over the Giants.
Okay, that's going to be a good game. The Giant defense has gotten progressively better, although slightly, but incremental steps add up to one big one. But it's going to be a close game, 2.5. I think it could be a field goal game. Might be a good pick there. Pick 2 for me. Philadelphia Eagles -6 at the New York Jets. Eagles stumbled last week. Perhaps their heads were getting just a little too big after going on that 4-game winning streak. What do you think, Eagle fan? Well, I think it was. Now they travel back to the Meadowlands for that other team in New York. They're taking on the Jets. You got to give up 6. Eagles stubbed their toe last week. Look for a comeback this week. Coach will not find it difficult to get their attention, even though the Jets are a quote-unquote bad team. I look for the Eagles to win and win big.
That's pushing it because I think the dearth of talent at the receiver position is going to hamper them in terms of covering the spread. Their skill position players in Philadelphia are achieving so underwhelmingly right now that they're holding the entire offense back. 6 a little bit too rich for me. That's why I stayed away from that. My game number 2, however, believe it or not, Seattle is a 1.5 favorite coming into the week at home versus San Francisco.
Oh.
And there is no way Seattle, after what I saw Monday night, is a 1.5 better than San Francisco.
Okay, I thought you were going the other way. You scared me for a second.
No.
Okay.
Russell's just not right. He has no touch. And listening to what Corey said, I think he hit it right on the head when he starts talking about how the marriage between Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson is over. They're clearly not, in the same bedroom anymore. And Russell may have decided it's time to move out. So when
I think he decided that last year and they couldn't move him.
Yeah, well, so with all this said and done right now, I think healthy Jimmy G is better than Russell Wilson with a bad finger. And the Hawks just can't run the football to create any balance. So at 1.5 to start the week, man, I'm taking San Francisco to win outright.
Good one. I love it. I like that one. I missed that one. I would have picked it. I would have picked it if it wasn't for this other good game that's coming up, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars -12 at the LA Rams. A lot of points, you say?
Well, you're going big this week.
You know what a
aren't you?
football coach told me one time?
What?
He said, if you're scared, say you scared.
You know what the football coach told me one time?
What?
Sometimes a cockroach gets killed by a sledgehammer.
Well, you know,
Just saying.
I didn't get that one, and I didn't get his either.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I'm scared, say I'm scared. How's that help? Anyway,
Rub some salt in it.
I'm taking the Rams to win and win big. Now, they've lost 3 in a row. They got Von Miller there. Did it help? Nope. But you know what will help? Not just the Jaguars coming in, but don't look now. But Brian Kelly is out at Notre Dame, and Urban Meyer is already eyeing that move to South Bend. Forget what's happening in Jacksonville. He's looking for apartments and condos in Indianapolis or in Indiana. I'm taking the Rams to win and win big.
Does he need some co-eds in his life, does he?
I don't. Tim Tebow said he had a talk with him, and he's not doing that anymore. He apologized.
Tim Tebow.
He apologized to Tim Tebow and his
The
wife.
last American virgin?
Not necessarily in that order, but
Okay.
he apologized.
Anyway, I'm not going to, as another one that I didn't touch, there's no way I think that Jacksonville should stay close, but there's a disconnect between Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. I don't know what it is. There's something about the Rams offense right now that doesn't look like it's in the flow or it's polished, which means only to me the Rams win, but I'm having difficulty with them covering by a little bit more than a touchdown, if that.
I think they're going to feast. It's
I,
going to be Thanksgiving a week later.
Okay. All right. My final pick is going to be Baltimore, a 3-point dog a 3-point favorite at Pittsburgh. It's a tough one because these two teams don't like each other. They always play it close to the vest. I love that 3-point line, but I think with the struggles that we talked about with Big Ben and this always being a field goal game, give me Justin Tucker on the road in Pittsburgh to win it by a field goal. That's a great line, a 3-point game.
Dude, I got the
Baltimore
Rams.
on the road.
I got the Ravens winning that going away.
Going
away.
No.
Dude, going away.
Always a tough game. Always.
I don't think it'll be this year, so your pick is safe. If the Ravens don't win by 1 or 2 touchdowns, then they played extremely poorly. Pittsburgh cannot run the football. Pittsburgh cannot throw the football, and the defense right now cannot stop anybody. So I think, again, it's going to be Thanksgiving a week later for the Ravens. I think this one just may be a blowout, and it's going to hurt me to say that. That's why I got my Mike Tomlin doll, but he's coming next week.
Oh, man, you got Tomlin doll?
Yes, I do. He's on the hot seat, and I had to take him off, bring him with me. Take your coach to work day is what it was. Let's get to my sure shot. New England, -3.5 as of Tuesday at like 2 o'clock. New England, -3.5 at Buffalo. Now, this is a big one. I know New England is red hot, and Bill Belichick is on his revenge tour. Now they go into Buffalo, where he's got plenty of wins, and they don't want to take any prisoners. But are the Patriots good enough to dethrone the current defending AFC East champions? Maybe, but can they do it by more than 3.5? I don't think so. Take the Buffalo Bills to reestablish control in that division. Let New England know that they are who they thought they were, AFC East champions, and push New England back just a little bit on their playoff run. Take the Bills, lay those points.
Now, you know I love you like a brother from another mother.
Oh, don't
right?
tell me you went the other way.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
I think
One of us.
I think
ain't
Bill
going 4-0.
Belichick on the road is worth 3.5 points.
3.5.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
He will induce a critical, game-changing turnover, and that's going to lead to the victory of at least 4 points or more. It's going to be between a 4 and a 10-point spread, if you ask me. I just think you got to understand there's a synergy between what you've drafted, the parts that you've brought in during the offseason. And remember, the Patriots were aggressive in free agency and it's paying big dividends right now, certainly on the defensive side of the ball. I would venture to say that Baltimore is missing Matthew Judon just a little bit. The back end is playing phenomenal. I think they neutralize Buffalo's aggressive offense. They play controlled football, keep their offense on the field. Mac Jones doesn't make any mistakes because Josh McDaniels puts him in a position to win.
That's true.
I like New England on the road to clip Buffalo, but there's a stench in Buffalo. Something is funky under the surface. I don't know what it is offensively, but they're not the team that went to the AFC Championship last year. And at this point in the season, I'm a ride or die with Belichick in Buffalo to beat the Bills.
Well, you know
by
what?
3.5.
That key word, H-A-L-F, half. And that half, I think, is going to put me over. One of us is going 4-0, but definitely not both of us.
You're right. So, again, I love you, but I'll see you back here with another perfect week. And remember, folks, the information, knowledge that we're dropping on it like it's hot is all for entertainment purposes only. Remember, if you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, get some help. How do you identify a problem? If you're thinking about betting as opposed to paying your mortgage, you got a problem. If you're taking money out of the kids' college fund, you got a problem. If that sounds like you, remember, 1-800-GAMBLER. You know, check yourself before you wreck yourself. You dig? Anyway, that's Chad. I'm Mark. That's the sure shot for this week. We out.
See you back at week 14. Don't forget to like and subscribe right down there.
Right there.